What's actually your full name?
Julien Guitton.
Julien?
Julien, G-U-L-E-E-N.
Julien?
G-U-I-T-T-O-N.
Julien.
Julien.
Okay.
Yeah, the French for Julien.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. But you can call me Julien, no problem.
Okay, cool. Okay. And again, the bank, Condensat Bank.
Condensat Bank.
Condensat.
This is my project. I named it Condensat because Condensat, C-O-N-D-E-N-S-A-T, is hash in French. It's not used in French because in French you say hash as well, but Condensat is the word you use in university with mathematicians and cryptographers in France. When you do a hash, you are doing a Condensat. Yeah, this is the word.
So the phoenix out of the ashes, pretty much.
The
phoenix out of the ashes.
Right? Yes, this is the true word in the dictionary for ash. So it's a bank of ashes. Yeah, the ashes bank. Because we do a lot of ashes with Bitcoin, a lot, yes. Yeah. And I choose we have to go into the bank world. We have to, we need it because I work in the Bitcoin space since 2011. I know a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs in France. And in France, the governments, the regulators, commercial banks, they are very hard on Bitcoin because they are terrorized about it. They think Bitcoin will destroy them. So you can't do business with Bitcoin in France. There is no way. Everybody is asking for the government to do something. The government say, yes, we will do, but they won't. They don't do anything. And I saw a lot of French people that go to Switzerland or Dutchland or East Europe, Malta, and that kind of countries because they can't work in France. When they want to do payment-related services. So I worked in this business for a couple of years, and I discovered a lot of things and why it doesn't work. And I have a proposition to community I'm telling what I'm doing, and there are some informations that can be helpful to know for cypherpunks and crypto anarchists and what's the business with banks. So in the space, when you do payment service providing, you have different kind of licenses that the regulators are giving you. For payment service providers and electronic money establishments, you can do the account thing. You can custody funds. You can do payment, treat payment for people. But you can do credits. You can lend money. And you have to work with the bank. You have to. Yeah, there is no possibility of having your own accounts. A bank needs to guarantee for your funds, for your customers, clients. So you have to work with the bank. And the big problem with, and I saw it in France and in other countries all over the world, Bitcoin space people want to run a business with Bitcoin, with payments, and they acquire this kind of license. And when it's time to work with banks, they are in the hands of banks. So if the bank they are working with want to shut down the thing, they just have to shut down the thing, and there is no legal answer to this. So that's why I say with my project, we need a bank. We need a real banking license. And that's a project around Condensat, is to obtain this banking license. Because if you have a bank, yes, you can lend money, but it's not the purpose of it. I don't want to lend money. This is not my business. But having a banking license allows you to work freely. You are not in the hand of another bank. You are free. You are independent. We need in the space this kind of bank because all of the entrepreneurs I talk about, they need a place to go to open their businesses, to open their accounts, to a bank that is crypto-friendly, even crypto-only bank. So this will serve a great, this will be a great thing for the space because you don't have to fear the bank closing your accounts. So this is for the entrepreneur space, this is a good thing. And another point of this project is to do like other businesses that work in payment service providing, like Xapo or WireX. A lot of people use it. It's a very cool services. So you have a bank account with a fiat money on it. You have a SWIFT number, SEPA number, or this kind of network. You have credit cards, and you have crypto or Bitcoin accounts, custody, because some people want custody. So this is the same thing as WireX and Xapo, but with cypherpunk technologies, with Bitcoin technologies, we are talking about PSBTs now, and Lightning networks, and new features on Lightning networks, and privacy protection features, a lot of things. They are not in this kind of businesses. And we can put them in a bank. So this project, I want to do it in Switzerland. And this country has a culture of privacy in banking. We used to have bank numbers in Switzerland, but in the world, in the countries didn't like it, US didn't like it, and there is not much anonymity in Switzerland banking. But this is not the end. And I think Switzerland wants to regain some of anonymity in banking. And our technologies with Bitcoin will be very efficient to give back some anonymity into banking. Mm-hmm. So I think Switzerland is a good place to do it. Mm-hmm. And they are more open to all the crypto technologies because we know that there are many foundations. Even Facebook is opening its crypto company in Geneva. So Switzerland is very open to crypto-related businesses, even in banking. So I think it's a good place. And for the banking license, I get to know the price, and the price is 10 million Swiss francs for a banking license. This is written on the FINMA website, so it costs a lot. And a bank is not a startup as we used to know. A startup, they can start with like 100,000 euros or dollars, I don't know, but you can start with smaller amount. But for this kind of business, we need a lot more of money. But this is not lost money. This is just capital that keeps in the bank. There is the Switzerland regulators, FINMA, they can lower or raise this 10 million fee for banking license. So I think for this kind of project, we need 20 million Swiss francs because the FINMA can rise a bit 10 millions, and we need a few millions to burn for the 3 to 4, 5 years in the beginning, hiring engineers, writing code, and in the banks are not startups, and we have the conformité, comment dire en anglais? compliance. The compliance is very specific in banking systems. You have to have executive direction, operative direction, security council, surveillance council, and many, hierarchical thing. And this is in compliance. And if you don't do it, you can't have the banking license. And this costs a lot because you have to work with lawyers and many lawyers because that touch many spaces. You have lawyers for the accounts, lawyers for audit, lawyers for to even it's not. There are many people needed to this kind of business, so that's why this costs that much.
Okay, but then you said that you want to use different cypherpunk tools that help in this process. And how can you intermingle then new technologies with these old regulations?
This is difficult. This is the challenge. There are a lot of regulations, but it is just compliance regulations. They want it to be written in a document, paper document. It's a base for your job as a banker. But when you have your compliance, this is good for the paperwork. But you can do other businesses that is not related to bank in a bank. So leveraging Bitcoin technologies, open source technologies in that kind of bank, Condensat project. That's why banks don't like Bitcoin, because the infrastructure costs are a lot lower. When you use peer-to-peer technologies, you don't have to use servers and cloud services, and all the code, Bitcoin code and Lightning code, this is open source. There is a lot of engineers that can work with this code, so it's not that hard. People exist to do this project. So bank is just accounting, so this is just a database with some identifiers, and you have balances. Yes, it's not that simple, but it's just databases. This is that where banks are spending their money is because they have a lot of intermediaries. They don't do the engineering job by themselves, so they work with companies that work with companies that work with companies and security companies. When we talk about HSM for security modules, the chip, it costs like $10. But companies like Gemalto, they sell the box like $5,000. But they put the service in it, and the banks are paying for it. That's why this costs that much for banks. But with our technologies, with our knowledge, with our engineers and cypherpunks, we know how to secure data. We know how to make it open source, to peer review how it works in cryptography. And banks didn't know how it works. And using this make it not that hard.
Yeah. Oh, very nice. Okay. And so what are the different products that a customer can get from this bank?
There are many. The first one is, like I said, Wirex or Xapo-like thing. You have a bank account, Swift, SEPA, credit card, and you have a custody account for Bitcoins or whatever assets. For entrepreneurs, they have access to a bank that won't close their account. And it's more easier for clients to use crypto and access to crypto, because you can buy it at your bank. This is compatible with non-custodial thing. You can have your own wallets.
So does this then also utilize multi-signature, especially for
Yes.
the custodial project?
Yes. Multi-sig schemes, there are many. You just have to design them. Even in Bitcoin scripting, you can do many things. So you can be non-custodial, you can be 100% custodial, you can be 2 of 2, 2 of 3, N of M. So you can have shared accounts with your wife, I don't know, but using crypto smart contracts. And we don't have to have people in the bank writing contracts with people and taking time. You open your multi-sig account, your smart contract, and it's done. You don't have to pay an intermediary again and again.
Yeah. So are you then also looking into direct peer-to-peer solutions that work maybe on your platform, but not with you as a bank, as a counterparty?
What do you mean?
So, I mean, there are some financial contracts that we can now build with Bitcoin as a technology to then have peer-to-peer direct contracts, like, for example, a payment channel. Right, in Lightning Network, that is a very complex property rights definition here in the script, and we can use this in a well, of course, network of these payment channels, but they're still peer-to-peer without an intermediary. But so, are you also looking into such protocols, or are they all protocols that rely on this third party?
I don't plan to create or write a new protocol. There is no use to it. But using, like you say, peer-to-peer protocols for data sharing or data storing, you can use it. Channels, yes, we can open channels with customers, two-party channels, or even joint channels. There are some contracts, but all the contracts you are talking about are yet to be designed. So this is the place, a project like this is the place. We're working with accounting, working with lawyers to create this cryptographic contract because, yes, cypherpunks know how to create a contract, but they don't know the details of what lawyers know, what accounting knows about how it has to work. So this kind of project puts these people together to create this contract. In the space, we don't have lawyers. And not much.
Well, I would say that coders of Bitcoin script are lawyers. They literally make the law of this Bitcoin UTXO.
Yeah, but we can't just switch from one world to another because, we have governments that are forcing us to use this law and not this one. So we have a transition period. So even this project, if we are imagining the future with banks that works completely differently, this project is a transition project from the current system and legal framework to the cryptographic, the mathematic crypto-related legal framework that we have to work for this because we have a lot of new features in the crypto scene, but we are not matching with the current legal framework. So that's I think this is the thing that blocks banks and big lawyers company to work with crypto because we don't talk to each other because they don't want them. So we have to create the place to work with it. Yes.
Very true. Very true. Okay, hey, this is a fascinating project. So could you tell the peers where they can find out more about this, a website, and where they can get in touch to help out?
I don't have a website yet because this is a project that I kept it private for now, but now I'm going public. So I have a Twitter, weedcoder on Twitter. My name is Julien Guitton. And you have, I have a website, condensat.tech, condensat.tech. And you can contact me. I even have a LinkedIn. I'm on WhatsApp, Telegram. I know you. So yes, if people have questions on this, I can answer. Even technical questions and even technical law questions. How it works, how bank works, how compliance with banks works. And this is a cool project. If this is a bank, and I don't want to create a bank like other banks. For example, the share of the bank's shares, this capital can't be owned by a legal person. I want the capital to be owned by a physical person. You have skin in the game, as you said me. So if people are interested in it, they can contact me, because I look in the Bitcoin space and crypto space, and nobody has project to open a bank like this. So maybe I'm the first one. If I'm not the first one and you are planning to open a bank, please contact me. I want to work with you. So this is a new kind of bank. I think this is the time to open it. I think there is a space to do it. I have many reasons to do it, because this is all a whole new world. So please contact me. I need money.
Perfect. Okay, Piers, let's make this happen. Actually, here a good cypherpunk bank that is honest to true principles and that actually provides a valid service that is mutually beneficial.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with banking, right? There's only something wrong with fraudulent banking and central banking.
You have to borrow money if you want to create a project.
Yeah.
Even every startup in the space, even Blockstream had to borrow money.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And again, these are all valid services, and they are different under a sound monetary standard, as with gold or with Bitcoin, than they are to a weak fiat shitcoin standard, like with the current situation, right? So it's a different type of banking. So go back into the history books and read some Rothbard on the history of banking.
Yes.
It actually, like, there are good companies doing that, and I think this really has the potential of also being one of these projects that stays true to sound economic and moral principles.
Skin in the game, and don't trust, verify.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
exactly.
it.
And with today's tools, we can make it happen.
Yes, we can make it.
Yes, perfect. Okay, Piers, thank you very much here for joining us today, again at the Breaking Bitcoin conference, here with Julien about the, what's the name of the bank again?
Condensat.
Perfect. Okay, thank you very much, and see you on the next show. Bye-bye.